My name is Skiesti, and let's talk about Mercy. Recently, I've had many discussions with different people about where Mercy stands currently. So let's get into Mercy's position in Overwatch right now. Really quickly, just to preface this, these are simply my opinions and views for anyone who's interested. It is not fact, it's just what I see and think as a high-rated Mercy player. I was always someone who considered Mercy to be a main healer, even when it became increasingly obvious she couldn't fill that role as properly anymore. However, in recent months, I've come to rethink my consideration. On the other hand, she doesn't really fit the off-healer role either, so where does that leave her? To start off, let's set down the basics. When I look at it, there are currently 3 tiers for supports. There is the main healers, consisting of Ana, Baptiste, and Moira. There is the off healers, consisting of Zenyatta and Lucio. And there is what I like to call the in-between, which is Brigitte and Mercy. Main healers are primarily chosen for their healing capabilities rather than their utility. They are healers that could sustain the team on their own if necessary. Off healers, however, are useful for healing, but primarily picked for their utility, including defensive ults. They are not able to sustain the team on their own that well. When it comes to Mercy, she's not a main healer and she's not an off healer. She's an in-between. She doesn't really have a clear classification or role in Overwatch right now. People don't know how to play with her or against her. They don't know where she stands or how they should treat her. Back when she had 60 HP per second, she was able to be a main healer. That was her role. Now that she has 50 HP per second, she can't really main heal as well, and she doesn't have the utility to be an off healer. Her healing capabilities in the long run can rival that of a main healer. She is sometimes able to do as much healing as someone like Ana, or even more, depending on your Mercy's playstyle. However, her healing is single target, whereas the other main healers have AoEs and are more capable of healing their team effectively. This means that even though Mercy is able, in the long run, to match their numbers, she can't do so as effectively or as reliably. Mercy is mainly used for her damage boost right now to enable the DPS on her team. Secondly, I'd say that she is used for her resurrection. Thirdly, her movement, mobility, and survivability. And lastly, her healing. People don't really pick Mercy for her healing anymore. She has a different job right now which utilizes a different side of her kit. Considering that the healing in her kit is not Mercy's main priority, she doesn't really work well with other off healers or Brig. She instead works better with a main healer that can take care of the team while she focuses on damage boosting the DPS or taking care of those with smaller health pools. The second week that hero bans has been in play, which is the current week that this video is going out, Ana and Moira were both banned. This leaves one main healer in Baptiste, 2 in-betweens in Brigitte and Mercy, and 2 off healers in Zenyatta and Lucio. In my games, many people have taken to running off healers paired with Brig. Personally, I'm not seeing a lot of Baptiste being run. On my team, since I usually play Mercy, I'm seeing a lot of off healers being chosen to run alongside her. I have not run into a lot of people playing Baptiste with me. This pairing with an off healer puts Mercy in a really peculiar situation. She's not built to be a main healer anymore, but if she's ran with an off healer or Brig, she has to take up that role and essentially be a heal bot for her tanks instead of prioritizing her damage boost, which is what she's really used for right now. That's her primary function in Overwatch. Mercy is alright overall. She's in a relatively balanced state, yet she lacks a proper identity or classification under the support role. As stated before, she isn't a main healer, but she isn't an off healer either. She's in this in-between state where she doesn't have a specific direction. She doesn't have a specific purpose. It'd be really interesting if this is Blizzard's way of seeing how Mercy is faring in the game, or what her position is if the only main healer available is Baptiste. Is she able to be a main healer being paired with an off healer? Is she still able to fill that role? Personally, I don't think so. I don't think that Mercy is a main healer anymore. While she can match those numbers, she just isn't able to do it as effectively as a different main healer. At the same time, she lacks the utility and defensive ult of an off healer. She is very much stuck without a specific direction or classification, and she desperately needs one. So perhaps this week will result in a much needed, firmer identity being developed for Mercy going forward. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. This isn't really the usual kind of thing that I talk about, but I feel like it's important. I don't really have any kind of opinion on buffs or even possible nerfs or changes. I'd just like to see a bit of a more defined Mercy. I'd like to see her have an identity again. I'd like to see her have that classification.